Hey, and welcome back for day 11. I had somebody reach out to me the other day who said this is a marathon, not a sprint, and that is accurate. So I'm glad you're still here and we're still moving. And let's start by dropping in the comments what you felt about yesterday. Did you post any pure value content with no pitch attached? I'd love to hear about it. You go ahead and DM me if you want to. You don't have to post it here. Um, I want to know what value. I want you to know what value does. It brings a different kind of response. It brings a better response than a pitch ever will in a lot of ways, and that's how we start to build the trust. As you can see, like each day we keep talking about trust, and it builds on trust, and it brings in all of the pieces and parts that we need to talk about when it comes to trust. Today is something that seems simple, but it's something a lot of people get wrong. Um, and that's staying on your ideal client's radar without making them feel chased. I think this is that slimy sales or smell a sale coming, right? So stay on the radar. Here's the reality about how buying decisions actually happen. Most people don't see your content one time and immediately pull out their wallet, right? Shh. Here's my wallet. They watch you. They need like 7 hours of content. There's a 7 hour binge method that Brooke teaches. Andy talks about it, and there's a lot of studies that go into 7 hours. So we want to shrink that 7 hours, right? They see you, they show up, and they see you show up again and again, day over day, week over week, month over month, all of those things. And one day something in your post just says exactly the right thing at the right moment, and they reach out. Your job is to be still there when that moment comes. You gotta still be there. That's what staying on the radar means. It doesn't mean posting constantly. It does. You need to post consistently. It is not about being in everyone's face every day. It's about showing up consistently enough that when your ideal audience wants to find you, they can find you, and you're the first person they think of when they're going through what they're going through. And the way you stay on the radar without feeling pushy is by making content that feels more conversational instead of broadcasting. Here's what that looks like. For a coach, it looks like asking your audience a question that they generally want an answer to, right? What's the biggest thing holding you back right now? What would you change if you could finally solve, or what would that change for you, I should say, if you finally solve that problem? The question that makes people feel seen and invited in to have the conversation. Some people will shy away from that because they know that a pitch is coming, or they instantly feel a pitch is coming. For a service provider, it looks like showing up in showing into what goes into the work, the detail, the care, the behind the scenes. We've talked about this a little bit already. You want a peek at your workspace. Like, you're on my webcam, so I can't really do it. A time-lapse video of you doing the work. So sipping a coffee while you're on your keyboard, right? People buy from people they know, like, and trust because it becomes familiar to them. The entrepreneur is the real journey, not just the wins. There's some crappy things that go behind the scenes, the pivots, the lessons learned, how you move and shake because of that. People stay on your radar, and you stay on their radar when they feel like they're being seen or they're watching something real unfold. That's why like Real Housewives is big. That's why that Keeping Up with the Kardashians is big, because people feel like you're giving them a peek into the backside of your world. And for people who are product designers, it looks like showing the making. How do you pick what you're picking? Why do you design the way you do it? The moment the pieces come together, people who buy the reaction somebody has when you show them the design, all of those things are about connecting with the person you're making or you want to make things for. Behind the scene content does way better than any sale ever could in this space. Because when you're looking at a complete product it's always about a sale, right? Like when you're looking at an ad, it's about a sale. When you're looking at things, it's about a sale. It's never about the connection. The other piece of today that I want to make sure you do not skip is your follow-up. Anyone ever been engaged with your content this week? Have you followed up with them? We talked about that 2 days ago. Have you followed up? Had you made sure that they're being seen, they're being heard, and you're giving them a simple follow-up message and saying, hey, I noticed you engaged with my content, and I'd really like to say thank you. I'm checking in. How are you doing? Right? Easy to do. Have you ever done that before? I know there are some of you that have. I know some of you, we've talked about it. I know some of you feel like that's a little salesy. If you're going to feel that it's salesy, it's going to come across as salesy. So we got to fix that internal monologue and that internal dialogue. So our 4 moves for today. Are you ready to be, do you want to remain visible? We want you to remain visible in a way that feels natural. Move 1, post a poll or a question that invites people to engage. Not a question about your offer. It could be as simple as broccoli or asparagus, or do you like asparagus, yes or no? Do you like Brussels sprouts? Brussels sprouts tends to be one that people like to converse on. A question about their experience, their challenge, their desire, something they actually want to answer. That's if you really want to, if you want to engage with them business-wise, that's what you're going to do. But a lot of times, we just need to spark our interest and spark our audience so that they think you're listening to them. Make it something that's easy to respond to. A yes or no answer is not what we're looking for here. We want a little bit of information. Move 2, share behind the scenes of how you did your work today. A sneak peek. If you're a coach, you could be you talking to a Zoom camera. If you're a designer, behind the scenes. If you're a web designer, same thing. If you're a product producer, the same thing. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, it just depends on what part of the day. It could, like I said, it could be as simple as you typing on your laptop, drinking a cup of coffee. Move 3, send a follow-up to anyone who's engaged with any of your content this week. Something like, hey, I noticed you engaged. We already talked about it. This is not a pitch. We're just looking for, how are things going for you right now? The world's a kind of a fun place today. So, I mean, some people might want to hear it. Granted, it might get political, so you got to rest assured in that, right? And move 4, add 3 people to your nurture list so that you can contact this week. So that list of 20, we should be working through it daily. Personal moves, anything you post to your personal page, I want you to put up in your stories. Again, people are fascinated with the behind the scenes stuff. Share it with them, right? You know where the worksheets are. You can get to them. All right, so here's how we're going to close today. I want you to walk away with this. Staying on someone's radar is not about being everywhere for them. It's about being consistent. It's about showing up in ways that feel generous, genuine, and real. It's about making your ideal client feel like they've seen you before, they know you, and they want to reach out to you, right? Post your poll question, show up with your behind the scenes, follow up with people who engage, and write these names and 3 names down on your nurture list. I want to talk about, we've got Heather's moving right now, and Janelle's showing us our garden videos. These are great ways for people to really get to know, like, and trust you and understand what it is you're going through and why you really can feel what they're feeling. See you in day 12, which is tomorrow.